What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another podcast wrestling news video. We're going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from this Ringside News article. And I don't understand why my mask is pinching my eyes, but without further ado, let's continue. Let's start off with some very exciting wrestling news. We're starting off with some Ric Flair news on Ric Flair on The Rock and in his $7 productions collaborating on his biopic. $7 production in the process of developing a biopic centered around the life of wrestling legend, the Nature Boy Ric Flair. And it says onto this article, according to the Wrap, the project Rock, along with Danny Garcia and Hiram Garcia. Hiram, I believe that's what. Yeah, in collaboration with Misher Films, Kevin Misher, notably Misher and $7 Production, previously collaborated on Fighting with My Family. What am I talking about? My apologies. I'm going to say made the previously collaborated with Fighting with My Family, not Fishing with My Family. Well, I thought that was an S. That was an S and there was no T at the end before ing. But Fighting with My Family, a film based on the life of Saraya, better known as Paige in WWE, expressing his admiration for Ric Flair. Johnson stated, as a kid who grew up in pro wrestling, Flair, he was a hero of me. He was a hero of, not of, but to me. Well, I hate these tongue ties right now. Like, he was a hero to me. Yeah, that's right. Johnson went on to mention Flair's monumental impact on the wrestling industry and his unparalleled ability to redefine the game. He emphasized the personal significance of the project and in the eagerness to share Flair's remarkable story with audience. Ric Flair renowned for his illustrious career, expanding decades, holds the distinction of being a 16-time world champion, currently associated with AEW. Flair's presence continues to his final match in AEW movie about his life back in October, and now with $7 Productions at immersive. And who will play the roles Ric Flair on this biopic of the Nature Boy? And are y'all very excited about this? Very excited about this biopic of Ric Flair, or do you think they should have the $7 production should have found another wrestling legend to do a biopic with them? Let me know in the comments down below. But I'm absolutely pumped and excited for this sooner rather than later, and have the chance to do that. Like all I need is to figure out where to watch this at. Like just give me the information and I'll watch it wherever I watch this wherever it's going to be located at, on what channel, what streaming service, whatever they're gonna release this biopic whenever they're done with this about the 16-time world champion. Let's hope it let's hope it do successful in the ratings, like wherever it lands at, and wherever specific date it'll be released. Like let's hope in the first week it'll be getting lots of views, like over by night, like because Ric Flair is a complete legend, and he had so many he had so many fans, and so many fans, and then he was like the hero to them, just like the Brahma Bull and the People's Champ, The Rock himself. But but yeah, like let's hope they hopefully let's hope it entertains the fans, and they would like to see more biopics from other wrestling legends, like like wrestling legends to wrestling legends, like I don't know, like we're just gonna have to wait and see, like if what how this is gonna pan out, I should say. Yeah, how it's gonna do. Like is it gonna be how is it gonna get some good I just think they're gonna do at least decently good, like in the first week of this biopic. But yeah, I want to wish them the best of luck, and I'll be checking it out for myself. I need to start looking at more wrestling documentaries. Anyways, I'm gonna have a new season of Dark Side of the Ring, and even though that's not the only channel that has wrestling documentaries, there's also A&E as well about wrestling, much about the wrestlers' biography, like my boys WrestleMania and One Culture Wrestling would do. But yeah, let's move on to the next wrestling news. But yeah, leave your comments down below on what your thoughts on this biopic, and about it's The Rock's production that's going to be producing this. But let's move on to the next news, which is Chavo Guerrero dismisses Vanilla Ice Vanilla Ice's claim to Eddie Guerrero to Eddie Guerrero's original lowrider. Eddie Guerrero is one of the most remembered and respected WWE legends of all time. Even after 20 years since he left the world, his legacy continues to live in the wrestling business and around the world. Recently, popular celebrity Vanilla Ice stated that he acquired Eddie's iconic lowrider for a price of $15,000. This came at a surprisingly low price, considering the history and value attached to the popular vehicle. Vanilla Ice also mentioned that its owner after Eddie Guerrero might not have known its real value, selling it to him for a fraction of its actual worth. Like furthermore, he revealed that the seller himself invested in an additional $30,000 in upgrading the iconic vehicle. The entire fiasco caught the attention of another Guerrero, Eddie's nephew and longtime partner, Chavo Guerrero, the former WWE Tag Team Champion, took to his X account to take a dig at Vanilla Ice's claim about acquiring his uncle's car. Chavo stated that in position. He was in possession of the original lowrider that was purchased by John Cena back in the day, like, and gave it to Chavo. I gave it to Chavo, like, following Eddie's passing. Vanilla Ice then tweeted in response of saying, "Sorry, sorry," or in response, well, by Chavo Grill saying in response, telling this to Vanilla Ice, saying, "Sorry, Ice, I have the original lowrider that Eddie Grill and I went out went out in Worcester, 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 like, at a PPV, which stands for pay per view, of course. Then purchased by John Cena after Eddie's death. Cena gave it to me, and I had a complete frame, like, off registrations, a frame off the registrations, of course. With Chavo Guerrero's statement, it would come as a uh, a relive for the hardcore fan, like, based to known, that possession of a Guerrero and not Vanilla Ice. This is what Chavo Guerrero. There's Chavo Guerrero's tweet on X. And do you think the claims of Chavo Guerrero are right? And he got the original lowrider from his uncle Eddie, or do you think Vanilla Ice is the one that has the real lowrider from the Latino Heat? Let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what you think about this wrestling news report, or on here on Ringside News, which I'm not sure if I should say on double times and in one paragraph, but yeah, you get the point. Like, but yeah, I want you to let me know in the comments right down below, and I would and I will move on to the next wrestling news. But yeah, before I do, I want to explain, like, maybe Chavo Guerrero has a point here, and he's telling the truth right here, and at this point, like, perhaps he is the owner, and he made it so sincerely clear that he did, by going back, remembering back in the day that him and his uncle were at a pay-per-view for WWE in Worcester, Massachusetts. And then right after Eddie passed, John Cena was willing to pay for the vehicle, and then gave it to Eddie's nephew Chavo, and he had the vehicle ever since then, which was like almost 2 decades ago. Which Eddie's passing was like back in November 2005, which yeah, in a year and how many months? Like a year and 9 months from now, you'll be a whole 20 years since then. So yeah, so what do you think? What are your thoughts on Chavo Guerrero? Like, do you think he's right? Do you think he's telling the truth, or do you think it's Vanilla Ice that's the one telling the truth and he's right? Which I would say, no offense to Vanilla Ice, I would like Chavo Guerrero's statement, like, of him bringing the story up from since then, like when Eddie Guerrero was still alive. He and him, like, drove he has the real vehicle and it's still in his possession to this day, and they even drove it around in the pay-per-view, and it's been stashed away in, I believe, in Chavo Guerrero's garage, I believe he said, or something like that. Like, he said it like this: He said like he completed the frame. And he also said he completed the frame off of the registration of the vehicle, making it sure that it is under his name as Mr. Chavo Guerrero Jr., which I'm not sure what his middle initial is. At least not this time. I need to start researching that so I don't have to embarrassingly explain that. Let's move on to the next wrestling news. But yeah, and I hope that this convinced everybody else that Chavo Grill is the true owner of his late uncle's vehicle and not Vanilla Ice, and he must have got it from probably from a different celebrity that drives low riders, perhaps. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and that is we got some Billy Corgan news now as he strikes a deal with the CW network to air 8 NWA content. The NWA has been at the center of discussions surrounding its television deal with the CW network. Last year, there were talks of NWA making its way onto the CW television network, and now Billy Corgan was happy to announce that NWA and the CW network have worked out a deal. In November 2023, the NWA Power Show with 3 R's premiered on the CW app, initiating discussions about the nature of the NWA's TV deal with the CW. Subsequently, it was officially announced that the show would make its debut on the CW app on February 6th of this year, of course, in 2024. Billy Corgan previously doubled down on the NWA landing TV deal with Top 20 Network. This was after it was confirmed NXT would make its way to the CW. Corgan then confirmed that NWA was in talks with CW Network over airing content there. PW Insider reported that Billy Corgan and the NWA officially announced that they have landed a deal with the CW network, as revealed in a press release, saying Billy Corgan and the National Wrestling Alliance deal with the CW network. Streaming flagship program NWA Power with 3 R's, and marquee events such as Paranoia Now. Much anticipated NWA signature live event Hard Times 2024 on March 2nd from Dothan or Dothan Al slated to be monumental programming on NWA Power with 3 R's. Set to premiere untitled unscripted series starring Billy Corgan in 2024. 2024 today, Grammys award-winning founder of the Smashing Pumpkins and National Wrestling Alliance, President Billy Corgan proudly announces an exclusive streaming deal for NWA with the CW. Under this newly minted all encompassing partnership, multiple NWA programs will be streaming and on demand via the CW platform, and in Porto and in the United States, like demo, uh, democratizing demo, democrat, democratizing access to the action-packed wrestling from some of the sports biggest, boldest, and brightest personalities. All programming is notably available free of charge, and without a subscription via the CW app. It it represents a monumental power move for NWA. The partnership not only amplifies the brand's presence throughout popular culture and the Z in the Zegas, but it it also sets a precedent for wrestling at large. Flagship program NWA Power is live on the platform now, and figure return to Robert's programming in emanating from the history like Robert's Arena in Sarasota, Florida, to stream. Additionally, the the much anticipated Paranoia live event and on Power is also now available on the CW. Shot on January 13th, 2024, at Revolution live in uh live in foot of Lauderdale, Florida. The signature live event Paranoia features some of the league's top stars and a in a mer- in a myriad of thrilling uh, a myriad of thrilling high octane matches. Next up, the massive signature live event, Hard Times 2024, will premiere on Power, streaming on both CWTV.com and the CW app. Regarding the alliance, Corgan commented the CW has made a big a commitment to sports, and they have an incredible top tier streaming platform. The network's audience represents a very wide swath of American culture, which wrestling has always been a key part of this partnership, gives us the opportunity to reach that audience more re, re, readily, readily. We're excited to get the chance to show there are other voices in professional wrestling. With NWA, there's honestly intrigue. Uh, there is some integrity and a different level like of swagger because it's coming from the underground. It's because underground. It's similar to rock and roll in this respect. With the CW behind us, we're pulling NWA into the light, where fans can appreciate its authenticity, authenticity. Additionally, a brand new unscripted untitled series about Corgan's life, like family role as president, like of NWA, and his day job, will also debut on the CW later this year. Co-produced co-produced by Corgan's own production company, Lighting One Inc. and they sell company. It offers an unprecedented yet into every d- every dimension like of his world with unparalleled candor. candor. Corgan continues to deepen the storied mythos and legacy of NWA, one of the oldest and most prestigious professional wrestling brands in the world. He has carefully curated matches and sought out exciting new talent, building a a haven a haven for future superstars to shine with attitude, in integrity, power, and pen and 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 pen and pen and pen and pennage. Such as NWA, such as such as such NWA currently serve as a home of the likes of EC3, Matt Cardona, uh, Thrill, Thrill Billy. So, what's his name? Still it's Mason, Trevor Murdoch, uh, the Tom Latimer, yeah, Tom Latimer, the Immortals, the Immortals, Addison, and Blood Force Trauma with Damage and Carnage, Damage and Carnage. That's what their names are. Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Damian Sandow, uh, and Austin Idol, the Insane Clown, po- poses poses violent pose poses violence. The brothers of frustration, Ya- Yabo and Ruffo, like Kobe Corino, Mims, Max, the Impaler, Max the Impaler, the sin, the sinister minister, Father James, like Mitchell, Birchall, Brian Idol, Natalia Markova, Carrie Morton, Alex Taylor, May Valentine, among others, with more heavyweight drama and the most bra- uh, bravado, like Billy Corgan, the NWA, in NWA will in like in th- like in thrall in thrill inside and outside of the ring throughout 2024 and beyond. Stay tuned for more from the legendary international wrestling promotion, I should say. And what are your thoughts on Billy Corgan's announcement of the NWA's continuing to continuing to stay on the CW app, even though it's not going to be on the channel specifically. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, and what are your thoughts on his comments also of the growth of the NWA? If it's then the ratings are growing and the viewership is doing wonders. It's just gradually growing, and it's of the deal with the CW network. And do you think they're gonna be doing business with them for a very long time? Let me know in the comments down below. But let's move on to the next wrestling news, and that is we got some Moose news reveals like frustration regarding Scott D'Amore's TNA departure. Moose has remained on remained one of the highlights of TNA wrestling ever since he made his debut in the company back in 2016. This is largely due to Scott D'Amore being a part of earlier this month. Moose has now admitted that he was angry over D'Amore's firing the sudden departure of Scott D'Amore from the position of TNA president. In this role, he had the direction, but in an interview with Jeremy Lambert and Joe Pearl, Scott D'Amore about Scott D'Amore's dismissal from the company, he expressed shock, like along with a mix of emotions such as upset and anger, drawing from the nature ahead, emphasized the importance of pulling faith in the general manager's like decisions, like and trusting that they are making the best choices for the company. Moose stressed the need for trust and commitment to ensure the success of TNA, acknowledging the investments made by Anthem. And then he said, I was shocked. I was upset, angry, sad. A bunch of company can relate to something like that. I will probably be best suited because of my time in the NFL. I came from a world of where head coaches get fired all the time. My rookie year, I got drafted by a guy who promised me a whole bunch of things, and he gets fired. Going into my second year, I had the same emotions. I was angry, pissed, upset. Even you just have to put faith in the general manager, like that they know what they're doing. You have to trust like that he is making the best decisions for the company. While while acknowledging his close relationship with Scott, I should say, Moose stated that their connection remains unchanged, with Scott continuing to be a mentor and coach despite not working together. Moose believes Scott wishes the best of TNA and has confidence in the new leadership, inclu- uh, including the new head coach Anthony and general manager Lynn to carry on the legacy. He added, "Nobody wants nobody wants to see TNA perish, like especially Anthem, because they invested so much money in it. As much as we don't understand the decision, we we have to trust it and put it 110 relationship with Scott, but my relationship with Scott is going to stay the same. He's going to be my mentor, but mentor, be my coach, and my big brother to me. It's just unfortunately like, and then he continued saying, "It's unfortunate. It it's just unfortunately we're not working with each other. Knowing Scott very well, I know he still wishes the best for TNA, and he's put together a roster that is going to carry on his work and his legacy. Now we have a new head coach in Anthony and a GM in Lynn, and we have to put our trust and faith in them to carry the torch. Scott Demore's departure from TNA has been in the works before the official announcement. Following his firing, another departure took place. The future of TNA in 2024 remains uncertain, and only time will reveal the impact, no pun intended, of these changes on the company. And yeah, I first of all I said no pun intended, like because it said the impact, like, and I thought I might add that into this video, but excuse me. And second of all, I would say what I should start, like, what are your thoughts on Moose, like, was being absolutely emotionally upset of his mentor, like a big brother to him. That had a very positively great fired, and then that would make him very pissed, upset, angry, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, and it shows that Scott D'Amore truly became a leader, like hearing it from the likes of Moose and a couple other TNA wrestlers that are on there, and that shows that all the rest, or at least most of them, like that were very close to Scott D'Amore, are making their making and making their words known that Scott D'Amore will never be forgotten in the Nashville-based company of total nonstop action. And I want to I hope Scott D'Amore the best in his future endeavors, and hopefully he finds work some place else if he has the desire of sticking around in the wrestling business. But if not, hopefully he can find something that he's looking for, like looking for another dream that he wants to achieve. But some say that Scott D'Amore does not. So yeah, some say Scott D'Amore is not really a wrestling person, which maybe he probably wasn't at first, but that didn't stop him from making a wrestling company like TNA a successful one, of leading into the right directions, and even trying to do more partnership projects with WWE, which, well, considering TKO or Endeavor's owning them, and Endeavor owns their streaming service, which is TNA Plus or Impact Plus. But yeah, let me know in the comments below on which one it is specifically, like considering it's now back as TNA. But that's why I asked, of course. But yeah, let's move on to the next news. And we got some Grayson Waller news. Looks forward to WWE Elimination Chamber with or without fan support. Grayson Waller is the next up and coming star in WWE. Waller has established like his status in at WWE's lineup as he's determined deliver his best performance at Elimination Chamber, whether fans cheer or not. Waller will get the opportunity to make his homecoming if he competes in the Elimination Chamber at Optus Stadium, which I'm not sure if that will happen in Perth, Australia. Speaking with Wide World Sports, like he discussed like his plans ahead of WWE Elimination Chamber and said that the crowd cheer for him or not. He said, "Well, I really don't know what I uh, what to expect, and I'm trying not to think about it too much. My focus right now is to make sure I'm in the best shape of my life and make sure I'm mentally and physically ready to go. As nice as it will be to make that to be the highlight. I want whether match I'm in to be the highlight. I want to stand with my hand raised." And he continued, "I don't think it will change my mind. Like I'm always just me, and whether you want to want to cheer or boo, that's up to you. I'm always performing like as myself, and I'm always there to put on a show. I want people to remember my name." Although, as it stands, Waller is not scheduled to compete, as his willingness, like to put his body on the line, though, to if given the chance, especially given the importance of performing in his homeland. He added that he's ready to give whatever it takes and put his body through hell for it. With him continuing, I'm kind of scared in some ways. In the past, I've shown on the big stage what I'm willing to put my body through to go viral and steal the show. I'm willing to put my body through hell, and it kind of scares me. The limits I'd go to for a show in Australia, I'm a bit worried for my body on that flight home. Meanwhile, the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event is scheduled to take place on February 24th at the Optus, the not Optus, the Optus, the, the Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia, with stadium capacity of 70,000. WWE is expected to utilize 55,000 seats like for the event if promises to deliver an action-packed showdown. It remains to be seen if Waller get the chance to prove his skills in his homeland. Stay tuned to Ringside News and for more. And stay tuned for the Super Ninja Austin of if he's ever needed to be an understudy in a match for the Elimination Chamber, if they genuinely scheduled him at the last minute for a match, he would absolutely do so. And do you think that that will be the case? Well, I don't think it will because he's scheduled to interview Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes on the same night on that night like in Australia when it's nighttime there and it's early morning here in America. He He's gonna be probably asking both Rollins and Rhodes a lot of questions about them being on the same page and how they're gonna take down the bloodline, which they will they're gonna give some describable clues to that nobody, not even Roman Reigns nor The Rock, are gonna know where it's at specifically in their playbook. They're just gonna try to research it all they want, but they're probably not gonna have no luck on what's their plans of taking down the Anawati family once and for all.